It is week number 2 of the high school football season, and tonight, the Rebels of Willoughby South made the trek down to Geauga County to take on your Chardon Hilltoppers. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski with you. My partner, Jamie Ward, will be joining us in just a little bit. Tonight, the Hilltoppers entered this game 1-0, a dominating performance against Eastlake North last week. On the other side of the field, Willoughby South, boy, they struggled against a Riverside team. The offense just couldn't do much. Question is, was it the South offense or was it a tenacious Beavers defense? Only time will tell on that one. Before this game begins, do want to thank GTV and also our presenting sponsor, the Chardon Gridiron Club, for bringing you this broadcast. We could not do this without their wonderful support. Also want to thank Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, the Junction Auto Family, the Chardon Smile Center, and the Preston Superstore. Thank you so much for bringing Chardon football to you tonight. With that, we're going to pause and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the band for you right here on GTV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pride that I introduce tonight's senior band class. There are 32 of them, so we're going to keep it moving, but I'm extremely proud of the entire band, but especially the senior class and everything that we've gone through this year. Our first senior is Abby Atchley, and she's walking with her parents, Jeff and Tony Atchley. She's played the clarinet for 3 years in marching band and plans to go into engineering. Our next senior is Emma Bourne. She's walking with her parents, Sandy and Andy Bourne. She has played clarinet for 4 years and plans to finish her associate degree of biotechnology at Lakeland before transferring to complete her bachelor's. Our next senior is Mackenzie Brown, walking with her family, Dad Scott, Mom Jackie, and brother Ryan. She's played the trumpet and marching band for 4 years, and she plans to attend Ohio Northern to become a nurse and to play tennis. Our next senior is Mateo Chavero, walking with his father, Ernesto Chavero. He has played trumpet in marching band for 2 years and plans to go to college for music education. We have 2 seniors walking together, Alex Reed and Logan Coles, with their parents, Lucas Reed and Jen Reed. Alex has played baritone in marching band. Logan has played bass drum. Logan has been here for 3 years. Alex has been here for 4 years, and Logan has been here for 3 years. Alex hopes to get his EMT certification and fire class done to become a firefighter EMT. Logan hopes to go to BGSU for aerospace engineering. Our next senior is a football player and a trumpet player. Let's give a hand for Jesse Decepeda, walking with his parents, Elmer and Tess Decepeda. He's been in marching band for 4 years in the trumpet section and plans to attend Ohio State University for music or law. Our next senior is Mary Kate Douglas, walking with her parents, Colleen and Ed Douglas. Mary Kate is a trombone squad leader, and she's been in marching band for 4 years. She plans to attend a 4-year college and hopefully major in psychology. Our next senior is Jessica Drake, with her parents, Brian and Pauline Drake. She's been a top ret for 2 years and plans to become a neuroscientist and someday move to New York City to pursue her dreams. Our next senior is Alexis Fishley. She is with her grandparents, Bruce and Charlotte Kantz. Alexis has played tenor sax for 4 years and plans to go to the Institute of Culinary Education with a dual major in pastry and culinary arts. Our next senior are twins, Finley and Ethan First, walking with their parents, Matthew and Colleen First. Finley is on the drum line and cymbals, and Ethan is on the drum line on bass drum. Finley's been in marching band for 3 years and plans to study occupational therapy in college. Ethan has played bass drum for 4 years and plans on getting a degree in chemistry. He's not sure what college yet. Our next senior is our field commander, one of our field commanders, Anna Gersner, with her parents, Megan and Paul Gersner. Anna is a trumpet player and is our drum major. She's been in marching band for 4 years and plans to attend a 4-year college and possibly major in environmental or agricultural science with a minor in music. Our next senior is Lachlan Conan with his parents, Adele and Heinrich Conan. Lachlan has played tuba and marching band for 3 years and plans to major in finance and business or environmental sciences and pursue a career in one of those fields. Our next senior is Darcy Moss. She is walking with her dad, Ken Moss, and her stepmom, Carrie Luana. She's played trombone for 3 years in marching band and plans to relocate to Chicago to become an apiarist. Our next senior, Lainey McBean, is walking with her parents, Tammy and Jim McBean. Lainey's been a top ret for 4 years, and she plans to major in biomedical engineering on the pre-veterinary track. Our next senior is Matthew McGreevy with many of his family members, his parents, Mike and Michelle. He plays the quints in drumline this year, and he's been with us for 4 years. He's not sure about college, but he knows that he wants to be an independent video game developer and or a music composer for video games. Our next senior is Olivia Means, walking with her parents, Heather and Dan Means. She's played saxophone and marching band for 4 years and is a squad leader this year. She plans to go to college to major in architecture. Our next senior is Sarah Malaro. She's walking with her parents, Kelly and Joe Malaro. Sarah has been in marching band for 4 years and is on the drum line playing snare this year. She plans to go to the University of Mount Union to study sociology and psychology to eventually get her doctorate in psychology to become a therapist or a psychologist. Our next senior is Owen Myers, walking with Andrew Myers and Christina McClure. Owen has been in marching band for 4 years on alto saxophone, and he plans to proudly serve in the United States Marine Corps. Our next senior is Brian Nells, walking with his parents, Bill and Cindy Nells, and his sister, Paige. Brian has been in marching band for 4 years in our clarinet section, and this year he's a squad leader. He plans on going into an automotive trade. Our next senior is Ben Perry, walking with his parents, Alan and Heidi Perry. Ben has been in marching band for 4 years on trumpets, and he plans to, after high school graduation, become an electrician. Our next senior, I'm so glad she made it tonight. This is Louisa Petrowski. We call her Lou. She's walking with her parents, Tony and Gina Petrowski. She is one of our top ret captains, and she got injured at practice, so we're happy she is here. She's been a top ret for 4 years, plans to attend college to become a physical or occupational therapist, along with a Spanish minor. Our next senior is Autumn Reese, with her parents, April and Josh Reese. Autumn is on drumline and plays bells. She's been with us for 4 years, and she's undecided about her major, but she plans to attend a 4-year college. Our next senior is Lauren Sickberg, with her parents, Robin and Bob Sickberg. Lauren has been in marching band for 4 years on the drum line. This year she's playing snare. Lauren plans to go to college to major in psychology. Our next senior is AJ Simielli, with his parents, Tracy and John Simielli, and his sister, Gabriella. AJ has been in marching band for 4 years in our saxophone section and plans to attend Kent State Geauga for a degree in marketing. Our next senior is Emily Spangler, with her parents, Penny and Chris Spangler. Emily has been a top ret for 4 years, and she's undecided about her major, but she plans to attend a 4-year university. Our next senior is our other field commander. This is Will Squires, walking with Adam Squires and Megan Vodica. Will has been in marching band for 4 years on alto sax, and the last 2 as also our drum major. Will plans to attend college to study and work in the film industry. Our next senior is Angela Stupai, with her parents Julie and Adam and sisters Allison and Abby. Angela's been in marching band for 4 years on clarinet. also undecided about her major. It's a little early in the year, you can tell, and she plans to attend a 4-year college. Our next senior is Campbell Tierney with her parents, Kathy and Jim Tierney, and her brother didn't make it. Campbell has been in marching band for 4 years on the drum line, and this year she plays snare. Actually, you've played snare for many years. Campbell plans to attend college to study sports medicine. Our next senior is Jonah Toscano, walking with his mom, Heidi Bear, and his dad, Matthew Toscano. Jonah has been in marching band for 4 years, and this year is on drumline playing cymbals. Jonah plans to attend police academy and pursue a career in law enforcement. And I was teasing her early, almost always last but never least, Riley Zelany is walking with her mom, Jennifer Kirko, her dad, Jim Zelany, and her stepmom, Nina Zelany. She's been in marching band for 4 years in the clarinet section, and she plans to go to a 4-year college and major in graphic design. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we are very proud of all of our seniors, and I'd also like to thank all of our band parents in the audience, but especially our band senior parents. Thank you for everything you've done, especially this year. You've helped. So thank you for encouraging your kids. One more hand for our class of 2021 marching band.
This broadcast also brought to you by Shoreside Plumbing and Albert's Lawn and Equipment.
Introducing the 2020 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. Being led onto the field tonight by senior drum majors Anna Gerstner and Will Squires. Special shout out to all our band members and band parents for their flexibility and dedication in preparing the band for this new normal. It has not been easy, but the band staff is very proud of this group in front of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Chardon School Board, Superintendent Hanlon, and entire Chardon Local Schools community, we extend our deepest sympathy to the Cleveland Police Department and the family and friends of Detective James Skirnovitz, who was killed in the line of duty last night. We ask you to stand and join with us in a moment of silence to honor his memory and service to the community. Thank you. Would you please remain standing, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor our great country with the Star-Spangled Banner, and remain standing for the Chardon High School alma mater. All right, Hilltoppers, put your hands together for the Hay Song.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial Field, Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you as we are moments away from kickoff here. And Jamie, exciting game. It's week number 2 of the football season. Hilltoppers looking to start off the year 2-0.
Absolutely, and boy, what a beautiful night we've got tonight, Matt. And here they come out onto the field.
Toppers coming off a rousing 42-7 demolition of North. Jamie, it was a game where Chardon just methodically wore down the Rangers. You saw it, the game was close in the first half, 14-0 heading into halftime, but the two-way play of North eventually caught up with them against a bigger, stronger, faster Hilltopper squad.
Well, and when you think about the wing T offense, which Chardon is now running, Matt, in its 40th season, it's something that's difficult to game plan against. It's something that is untraditional now in the way that we spread things out. And we've seen this before. It can wear a team down, and when things in the second half, like you said, mentally, defensively, when you got to keep figuring out where's the ball, the Hilltoppers break a big one.
Jamie, you mentioned defense, and that's something that we're going to be talking about a lot tonight, because heading into this season, the strength of this team was said to be the Hilltopper defense.
And look at who they've got back returning, Matt. I mean, these are young men who are returning starters from a year ago. And this is a team that, we haven't even mentioned this yet. Different kind of season. Not the same thing that they would be used to, but we've got a season. And Mitch Hewitt thinks this is one of the most talented teams he's had in the 10 years that he's been here. So the fact that they get a chance to get out there and continue is very important.
I'm going to trust Mitch Hewitt because Mitch Hewitt knows talent.
25 seniors, Matt. I mean,
Number 17, Bryce Figler. Number 29, Tyrone Singleton.
Bryce Figler and Tyrone Singleton back to receive for South. Tager will be teeing it off, and boy, last week his kicks were strong. There was a big question mark about the kicker position entering this year because for the first time in 6 seasons, a kid named Ziegenfuss wasn't kicking?
Yeah, they're all gone.
But Tager has stepped up, and he was spectacular in week number 1. With that, we are underway here from Chardon. Singleton going to take it. Coming near side, 15 gets around the edge. 20, no, he doesn't get much more than the 20, maybe the 21. Great coverage by the Toppers.
And here you're going to see that Chardon defense, Matt. Those starters, Miles Mendezoon, Gavin Slife, Evan Gardner on that defensive line. Your linebackers are Cade McDevitt and Vince Ferrante. You've also got Blake Barker. And in the secondary, Kevin Doyle, Trey Liebhart, Nathaniel Sulka, who's a 2-year starter already. And also Christian Hall is going to be in the mix as well. Very deep, talented unit.
Absolutely. This is a Rebels team that likes to spread the football. They've got Ira Sampson, the junior, 5'11", 205. He's getting looks from colleges already. Expected to get an offer. They're going to hand it off. Coming right side is Sampson, going to gain a few yards out near the 25. But you look at the South Rebels. They're led by the QB, Colin Quinlan, a sophomore, 5'11", 170. He has some experienced receivers in Carson Von Segern, Vince DeUsanio, and David McLean. And then Tyrone Singleton, who's going to be getting a lot of playing time, is a sophomore. I think he got some time last year as a freshman as well. So they're young, but they do have experience. From the gun, Quinlan. Going to hand it off. Sampson makes a cut near the line and doesn't get much more than that. Boy, that Topper defense right there.
Well, Matt, when I asked you before the game, what do you think about one of the storylines, the first thing you said was this South offense who had less than 50 yards from scrimmage last week. So when you think about Chardon's strength, South really needs to get themselves on pace. And when we think about those South teams of the past, they scored a lot of points.
They absolutely did. And, the issue, too, this Chardon team, they're on a 5-game winning streak against the Rebels entering tonight's game.
That's pretty amazing to think about.
You have to wonder, too, if that might be in these Rebels' heads, although some of these kids may be so young, they don't even recognize that either. Quinlan going to look to throw, going right side, down the sideline and way out of bounds.
Oh, a late flag, Matt.
I don't think that pass was catchable because it was thrown out of bounds. However, I don't have a say in this thing.
No, of course not. It looks like it's going to be, not a pass interference, but contact before the ball was in the air. But, Matt, you think about Mitch Hewitt starting his 10th season. He's a defensive coach. Down on the sidelines, the coaches are wearing white today. And but think about it, Matt. 10 seasons for Mitch Hewitt, a graduate of 1999.
And he's done a spectacular job as head coach. On again, they go to the ground, and again, the Hilltopper defense just being stout.
Well, Matt, everyone who's watching at home may not be able to tell, but as that sun sets here at Memorial Field, it's not just us. I'm looking at all the Hilltopper coaches down on the sidelines. That sun is directly in everybody's eyes.
Well, it's why in the open you saw me with the old Indians ball cap and my sunglasses. You can't really see. Bad snap. Quinlan going to jump back on, and he was fortunate to recover. Jamie, boy, I should say the Rebels, in a way, catch a break there by not turning that ball over.
It'll be third down and very long, Matt. Want to give a shout out here early on to everyone in the press box, including Alan Herner, who's doing the public address announcing, and Kyle Martin, who's helping him out.
3rd and 25 from the 29-yard line. Tighter formation for the Rebels. Quinlan from the gun. Look to throw over the middle. Ball is caught, then a big hit. Boy, how did Singleton hold on to that one? He got drilled.
That's Brady Toth with a big stick.
Now, we saw Toth last year in that game against Aurora come up with a big interception. I believe it was a pick 6 if I could find my notes from that game. But he's one of those players who, Jamie, I think before the season started, you wondered, okay, what kind of improvements, were some of these kids going to make because of the different off season that they had? But Brady, I don't think, has missed a beat.
He's 6'5", 185.
Good snap. They get the punt off. Going to be short, but it's going to take a Rebel bounce down toward the 20.
That's a very nice kick for the South Rebels.
Yeah, Tom Funk, the punter.
Well, Matt, just want to say thank you to everybody who's watching us tonight from home. This stadium would be completely packed right now, obviously, in most situations, but because of the capacity change and everything, I think there's a lot of people that are watching us on their phones, on their TVs, if you've got GTV, and being able to stream this live is a big bonus.
Well, here comes Drew Fetchick and on the offense. Fetchick had a nice night last week against North. He's going to hand it off. Unfortunately, nothing going there. That time, James Pettyjohn got stopped in the backfield. We're going to see James Pettyjohn, Sean Carr, and Evan Ash, the main 3 running backs in this formation. Drew Fetchick, the QB, going to also get some carries as well. Depending on how things play out, Cade McDivitt should get some carries as well. Though we didn't see Cade, I think it was until late in the 3rd quarter last week, just because of the success the offense had. And he's also just so important to that defense. So Fetchick, 2nd down and 12 from the 17 under center, sends a man in motion, and he will hand it off. The first man through, I believe that was Sean Carr. Maybe gained a yard or 2. Not much. Guys up front for the Hilltoppers include George Lemaster, Nick Fay, Dylan Friend, Matt Klosky, and Jesse DiCipeta.
They made a change this week. Jesse moved to right guard, and they moved Lemaster to the right tackle position.
Fetchick feeling some pressure, going to throw it away. He gets the ball off. It is caught coming across the 20 up near the 25-yard line. That was Sean Carr. Fullback made the catch. It looks like, though, Jamie, he's going to be a bit short of that first down marker.
Yeah, so pretty classic, Matt, with these two teams feeling each other out here early on. But if you're South, you've got to feel pretty good about being able to stop this Chardon offense that was able to run all over North a week ago.
Yeah, last week against North, the Hilltoppers racked up 478 rushing yards. It's all their total. Coming near midfield, and that is going to be it for Bryce Figler.
That's Alex McDonald on the punt. Junior, started a year ago.
Well, with 6:06 left to go here in the first quarter, going to see the second possession of the South Rebels. And Jamie, they moved the ball initially because of a penalty, but after that, it was a mistake that dropped them back a good 19 yards. And now they a little bit slow coming out of the sideline, but they're going to come straight onto the field.
Ooh, another bad snap, man.
It was, but they get the ball and they do hand it off. Not much going there. That time it was Singleton who got the carry. Singleton just couldn't break that edge. No gain.
Shout out to Jim Mornino and all of the Rebel fans that are viewing tonight's game on our GTV live stream.
Yeah, great to have other communities watching.
Something tells me that, Matt, and of course we weren't able to bring you the game last week for a number of reasons, but we might have our biggest our biggest crowd of all time.
Quinlan going to hand it off. Sampson, nowhere to go. Boy, Doyle was up there to help make the stop. I saw Christian Hall in there. The Hilltopper defense was all over that one.
One of the things I love about this defensive line, Matt, and I haven't seen anything like this before, but they're all in the single digits. You know, you think about those old school guys, you know, we're in the 70s and the 60s. These guys run 8-2-4-7 on the defensive line. I mean, those are kicker numbers.
Well, they are, and you look at, I mean, Vince Ferrante is lined up there now. He's a linebacker, but he's almost playing defensive end. He's 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Quinlan going to fake the handoff, feeling some pressure, being flushed out of the pocket. Will he get a throw off? No, they get him in the backfield.
Speaking of 5.
Mr. Ferrante. That was one of the problems South had last week against Riverside. Ira Sampson had a off night, if you will, had 37 yards of rushing, but unfortunately a lot of sacks, a lot of other runs that went for negative yardage, and again it was a very rough night for the Rebels offensively against that Beavers team.
You know, we talked about this, Matt. They had anywhere between 10 and 30 total yards, and the only way that that's possible is to go backwards, and we're seeing that here early on in the first quarter.
4th and 16. Tom Funk back to punt, standing on his own 30.
Ooh.
Good kick. Will be fielded. A little bit of shake and bait going on there, making a few guys miss was Cade McDivitt. McDivitt, I think, got it near the 25-ish or so.
Well, South right now winning the special teams battle, which that's a good place to be on the road here in Chardon on a night like tonight, which is it's been a charged evening in the community because of some things that have been going on around the school district. It's been I know it's been very difficult for the teachers and the superintendent and
Fetchick gonna hand the ball off, coming right side, and again, nothing going. Boy, the Hilltoppers continue, Jamie, to try to work between the tackles, and they have not had any success. You look at this South defensive line, they run a 3-4. Tavian Barrow, Dominic Vittori, and Vince Deusani are the front line and the linebackers, Ira Sampson, Davian Holsey, Alec Vittori, and Jaden Searcy, the linebackers. We're going to see Ryan DeAndrea, David McLean, Bryce Figler, and AJ Hanslick in the secondary for the Rebels. Fetchick from the gun. Going to hand the ball off again, coming near side, and again, not much going on. Pettyjohn just could not turn the corner. Hanslick was there to make the stop.
Hilltoppers offensive coordinator Frank Hall, who was with the team, went off to Lakeside for a few years, came back, Matt, last year to sort of take over the offense again, and you know, working very closely with all the assistant coaches. The thing about Chardon is that their assistants are so important.
Indeed they are. Jamie Fetchick going to bring the guys to the line. And Fetchick will keep it himself, going to try to go around the corner, going to look to throw. Ball's up in the air, and it is incomplete. Well, he was looking for one of his big guys, but he couldn't make it happen.
Pass intended for Alex McDonald, falls incomplete. Bryce Figler on the coverage. Sets up 4th and 7 for the
It'll be now 4th and 7.
Field position, very important right now.
So 4th and 7, McDonald back to punt. A little bit of a wobbler, gonna cross the 40 and go out of, no, it stays in bounds. Took a Hilltopper bounce just close to the 30. I thought that was gonna make a beeline to the right. And now a late flag.
I think it's some extracurricular by the Rebels. And that's gonna hurt them when we talk about field position.
Love it when the fans are just shouting out the numbers, helping the
Well,
officials.
you know, honestly, I didn't even see it, but when you hear all the Chardon fans cheer, you just assume, right? Like, you know. Well, they know.
They saw.
They saw, and you trust the fans.
There were a couple dads over there to our left who were on top of things.
Well, we've got, Matt, you know.
But you know what? That's okay.
We've got, you know, it's still a fairly decent crowd here, but obviously not like we would normally see.
Quinlan from the gun, going to move a couple guys around. 2 minutes, 1 second to go here in this first quarter. With the snap, we'll hand it off. Sampson again, the Hilltopper D-line saying no way. Jamie, the way this game is starting to play out now, you have to wonder if this could be just like it was last week, where the Hilltoppers are just going to start to methodically wear down the Rebels. Because the Rebels do have a number of two-way players as well.
Yeah. You know, it's a very classic first quarter in that sense.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play from the Rebel 18-yard line. Quinlan has two guys to his left and no play.
We have a timeout.
Rebels decide to call a timeout, and with that, we've got a special message from Joey's Italian Grill about a tailgate special.
Well, you're right. There's a tailgate special at Joey's to support the Chardon After Prom and local restaurants, and that will be on September the 4th. You can see right there on your screen. You can see the tailgate specials with the food, and that includes Cleats as well, which is right down the street and around the corner. So be sure to say tailgate special when you're placing your order tonight. I mean, gosh, what time is it, Matt? I'm sure there are still people thinking about their dinner plans.
Absolutely, you can. And folks, when you get chicken parm sandwich with fries, you can have an ultimate chicken salad, a large pizza, chicken tenders. I mean, it's something for everybody.
10% of the purchase will benefit the Chardon After Prom. And one of the things, Matt, when we think about how limited things have been, that's one of the examples where the After Prom would normally be running a concession stand tonight, unable to do so. so they could use the support.
Absolutely they can. Quinlan from the gun no, he will hand it off to Sampson. Spun around and dropped in the backfield again. McDivitt, I think, was the guy that got it to him. No gain again, and this Topper defense has been spectacular so far in the first quarter. And Jamie, if I may, I had the chance to talk to Mitch after the game last week, and Mitch fully said, and it was in the Maple Leaf, if you saw the quote, basically they were one play away from a shutout in that game last week against North. And it was a situation where they made a mistake and they went to gamble. They went for a home run, and they got beat by an athletic quarterback with a lot of speed making a big-time play. Again, another bad snap, and Quinlan falls on it again. That is 2 now.
Yeah, it's going to put him in a bad situation. You know, we just talked about it, but you know, South has been erasing any positive yards they can get by going the wrong way, and that's unfortunate. You know, it's very frustrating when that first play of your play doesn't go well.
Indeed, so after 1, no score here from Chardon. Folks, do want to once again thank our sponsors for bringing you this broadcast, and they include the Preston Superstore, the Chardon Smile Center, also Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, and of course the Junction Auto family. We thank you for your support in helping us bring you this broadcast. We ask you to remember and patronize them as best as you can. So it is 4th down and 19 for the Rebels. And Tom Funk is trying to get his team out of a funk right here because he's back in the end zone. Well, he picked up the snap. He dropped it. It wasn't a bad snap. McDivitt calls for the fair catch. And little dicey there, but he held on to it. Yeah,
well, and so, Matt, this is the first time in today's game that Chardon now has the field position advantage, and you know, I talked about Frank Hall running the offense the other drive, but of course Don Novacek is the offensive coordinator, but they work so closely together, and now is the time to strike.
Absolutely. So here we go. The Hilltoppers going to come out of the huddle. Fetchick, traditional wing T formation. Fetchick going to keep it himself, looks to make a cut. He's got a little bit of running room. Fetchick picks up he's close to the first down. He does get it. Okay, they're going to mark it at the 30. Jamie, by my count, that's the first time Drew has ran the ball today.
Well, Drew Fetchick has waited for his turn. He's an athletic young man, battled injury a year ago. And it's interesting to think what he might be able to do this year.
Absolutely. Sky is the limit for this young man. And one of the things that the coaching staff would like him to do is to run a little bit lower. They're going to hand it off. Carr going up the gut, and the big fullback gains about 5 or 6 on that run. Jamie, we saw it with that carry by Fetchick. It looks like now it's opening things up a little bit, and the Rebels are now not keying in on the running backs. Now they're starting to keep an eye on the Chardon QB as well.
It's very difficult to prepare for this offense, as we talked about.
40 years in the making, if you will.
Right.
Pettyjohn in motion, and the QB Fetchick up the gut. And he is again close to the first down marker, near the 20.
You know, James Pettyjohn, we haven't talked a lot about him yet, Matt. The senior, halfback, 5'11", 170, but last week he ran all over North eventually.
He did, and Jamie, note here, Fetchick is off the field, And they're bringing in the Wildcat QB, Nathaniel Salka, who last week ran for a touchdown. Salka going to keep it himself, going right side. Salka running room. And Salka down inside the 15, I think near the 10. A little bit difficult as they run that far side for us to see from our viewpoint here.
Amazing to think that Salka is just a junior, Matt. He's been starting since his freshman year. And we have an injury.
We do. Jamie, though, a good time to thank some of our funding communities.
Absolutely. You know, tonight's special live cable cast, whether you're watching us on GTV or online, is always funded by the cable subscriber franchise fees, and we need you to understand that. We'd like to thank all of our funding communities and those that also, aren't funding tonight's specific contest, but everyone together makes GTV work, and we want to thank them for their year-round support. They are Burton Village, Chardon Township, the City of Chardon, Middlefield Village, and Munson Township. Thanks again for supporting GTV. Matt, we've been doing this for a long time. Brian's been doing this for a long time, who's with us up here, but in this particular instance where attendance is limited and people can't come to the game, this is where GTV is providing the same thing we've always provided, but it's a little bit more important this season.
Absolutely. It just goes to show you the value of local TV programming. Well, the injured Hilltopper Max Buzagani had to be helped off the field, unable to put pressure on his one leg. Hopefully Max will be okay. Chardon going to have a 2nd down and 1, ball officially marked on the 11-yard line. Topper's going to pass the ball right side. It is caught and being spun around. They will get the 1st down. The catch that time was Angelo Ferrante, number 10.
Well, you're in a very good situation right now where you're inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Matt. And in the red zone, there's a lot of options for this Hilltopper offense.
Fetchik back in the game at QB. Goes under center. Pettyjohn in motion. And Pettyjohn could not get around the end again. Boy, it's been a rough first half so far for James Pettyjohn. Last week, the young man led the way, 179 yards rushing with a couple of touchdowns. However, Jamie, there is some laundry in the end zone.
And the Hilltoppers will move back.
So a personal foul against the Hilltoppers will push him back 15 yards. And they will have 2nd down and goal from the 26?
Yeah, I think so. So once again, field position.
22.
Field position. The scoreboard isn't right on that.
Fetch keeps it himself right side, picks up some of that yardage back. You look at the weight differential up front. Chardon has guys that are 265, 260, 285, 285, 290, compared to the Rebels, 205, 200, 215. At some point in time, you think that weight advantage is going to start going the Hilltoppers' way when they get that push down the field. Maybe this is it right here in this situation. 2nd and goal now from the 15. Fetchik looking to pass. Going to throw the ball. It's dropped.
You catch it!
Well, Alex McDonald had a chance, but couldn't hang on to it.
Another flag, Matt. That one's at the line of scrimmage. Probably not good for Chardon. Probably declined, I would think. Oh, my. I would think you decline that.
Now we'll see what Matt Duffy's going to do, the longtime coach of the Willoughby South Rebels.
Is he going to move him again? Wow. So, let's be honest, Matt. It's been sloppy here early on both sides.
Indeed it has, and this is a stark contrast from week one where the Hilltoppers made very minimal mistakes. Can't believe I'm saying this, second and goal from the 31. Fetchick again dropping back to pass. And he's going to be sacked, and now it's going to be third and goal from 45, or close to.
I would punt it on third down, Matt. Sorry.
And Jamie, I'm just, you know, the MO of this team is to run the football. And I'm just surprised to see how much Drew Fetchick has been given the opportunity to pass tonight.
Well, they're just not put in the right situations. This drive started that way, but then the penalties put you in a passing situation.
Salka coming out, it's a split end left side. The big man might be a threat if they decide to throw it up. Fetchick going to keep it around the left side, a little bit of running room, and Fetchick knocked out of bounds, but nowhere near the end zone. Jamie, the question now is this going to be in Nathan Tager's range?
I can hear Don Novotzik saying field goal, Matt. I guess that's an advantage that we have right now in this quiet stadium, is that we can actually hear all the coaches and everything they're saying. Boy, this is a real kick right here.
So Tager going to come out to kick what's going to be a, what is that, Jamie, a 44-yarder?
44.
He kicked a 46-yarder in the first inter-squad scrimmage, and at that point, Mitch Hewitt said, okay, you're our guy. That one off the mark.
It was part of the issue was it was a bad snap, and it was a high snap, and when you think about the timing and the amount of momentum you've got to get in there, Matt, it just didn't work out. So South gets the ball back in a pretty favorable situation.
They do with 6:40 left to go. The Rebels will get the ball back, and Jamie, they avoided disaster. The Hilltoppers were there in an and-goal situation, and mistakes and penalties just knocked them essentially out of field goal range. No disrespect meant to Nathan Tager.
Well, let's see if this defense, which has actually been carrying the momentum right now for Chardon, see what they can do.
Well, looking to see if they can come up with a big play here. Quinlan going to give it to Sampson, and Sampson again met at the line.
One of the things we're missing tonight, Matt, are the Chardon crazies, of course, and just want to let them know if they're watching or whatnot that Memorial Field misses you, and we hope you're having a safe Friday night watching the game. Be smart, be safe, and ideally they'll be back sooner than later.
We hope. Rebels taking some time. They got to hurry. They might get caught. No, they get it off just in time. Quinlan going to keep it himself this time, and he gets nowhere. Again, that defensive line doing what they do best, Jamie, not giving anything.
Yeah, there's so many returning starters on this defense, Matt, and so much talent, so much strength, and kids that aren't just, like we talked about with this defensive line, these aren't guys that just take up space. These are strong, athletic young men that can really affect the game.
It's funny you said. I was having a discussion with my brother over the weekend about the difference between big boys and strong young men. And Quinlan, and he stopped in the backfield. He had nowhere to go that time around.
I mean, these are the type of kids, Matt, when we talk about Vince Ferrante again, who they just blow up plays. They are really difficult to figure out how to block.
Brings up a 4th and 8 situation from the 22, and the Rebels going to be sending the punting unit out again. Well, clock running now under 4:30 to go, Jim, and you have to feel that this next possession may be the Toppers' last of this first half. Funk, and here come the flags.
Illegal procedure. Well, South's got to be a little careful. They've had a snapping problem, and now they're kicking from their own end zone. So,
well, the last time they did kick from their end zone, Tom Funk dropped. It was a good snap, but he dropped the snap. Was able to luckily get it, pick it back up and kick it, and got off at actually a pretty decent kick considering. Good snap, good catch, and a high kick. McDivitt calls for a fair catch inside the 40. He makes it.
Nice job. You see Cade use his hands there?
I did.
He used his hands. That's not an easy catch to make, Matt, but great job. Well, we want to thank, of course, the Chardon Gridiron Club and all of our sponsors tonight that we've been talking about. If there's still plenty of time this season to get in to the game for Hilltopper football, you can contact Tim Semler at 440-487-3116. And don't miss out on this opportunity to get your name out there, be a part of this season, and be a part of what has been, such a positive thing. Let's be honest, we weren't sure we'd be here right now.
Absolutely. Fortunately, we are. Fetchik going to keep it, trying to go around the right side, and no go there. He was brought down for little gain as that time. It looked like it was DeLonde Moss who came up for the stop. We talked about the game Pettyjohn had last week, but you look at Fetchik as well, 102 yards rushing. He had a nice night, and most of those, Jamie, again, came in the second half. So here we go. Fetchik under center, sends a man in motion. He's going to look to pass, dropping back to throw. Has it up in the air. It is caught! Pettyjohn! And it is a touchdown, Toppers! 39 yards on the reception.
It all started with the fake for Drew Fetchik, and that play action gave Pettyjohn the space that he needed. You deliver the throw, and Hilltoppers are on top, Matt.
So the Toppers strike first here, a little bit before halftime, and Nathan Tager going to come out and attempt the point after. Strong kick, it is up, and just like last week, it is good. So with 3:03 left to play, the Hilltoppers lead Willoughby South 7-0.
Well, hey, it's still time to get dinner tonight, and we've got our tailgate special at Joey's Italian Grill and Cleats. This supports Chardon After Prom tonight. 10% of the purchase will benefit the Chardon After Prom. There's a lot of tailgate specials like, Matt, the chicken parm.
Yep, you got the ultimate chicken salads right there, a large pizza, chicken tenders.
Friday night's always for pizza, isn't it? It's always for pizza.
I don't know if I could pass up a good chicken parm. Just saying. Well, thankfully, Jamie, the sun is finally starting to set beyond the trees. Woo. That was a little bit of a rough time there once it got down and right in the old line of sight.
don't forget that we'll be able to watch the Hilltopper Band at halftime as well. We think a lot about fall sports, and we don't think as much sometimes about the band and the cheerleaders and the flag line and the fact that they practice and work hard, and they're getting an opportunity because of the football team to be out here tonight as well.
Well, Tager ready and set to kick this one off. The first time tonight, the Toppers are on top, 7-0. And going to be returned right side, running him across the 30, 35, 40, breaks another tackle across the 40, and boy, Tyrone Singleton. Good return by the Rebels sophomore.
He had just one man to beat. Good news for Chardon, he didn't. And so while that's a great return, the Hilltoppers were able to mitigate what could have been a tie, a game-tying touchdown.
Well, even better news for Chardon, Jamie, is the fact that the defense is back out on the field. And while we don't have any stats right now, I honestly don't know if the Rebels have positive yardage.
They don't.
At this point in time in the game.
They do not.
Handed off. Sampson is stopped in the backfield, and again, the Hilltoppers all over. I think Skylar Sullivan was in on that tackle.
I mean, let's put ourselves in South's position for a minute. You get shut out last week. You have under 45 yards total for sure. And you're negative tonight. What do you call? What do you do? What's going on?
Well, it's a young squad, and they're working through some things. I mean,
what's going on?
Jamie, a lot of it's just learning and gaining experience. And, it's the one thing about Chardon that these fans are so blessed to have is the system's been in place for so many years. The kids run it from Pee Wee football. And now, of late, flag comes out, and this one going to go against the Rebels. Unless South called the timeout.
I think just before the back judge threw the flag, they went ahead and took the timeout. But, Matt, what you're saying, of course, is important as far as the wing tee. But and South a little bit better historically than I do. They don't have that same sort of.
Well, it's not that they don't have it, Jamie, but what I probably didn't say this way that I was thinking about it. So let me kind of rephrase it here. Chardon continues, they've got the system in place, and they have the individuals in place to play the system. What South is going through right now, and if you look just strictly from a numbers standpoint, they don't have the guys that Chardon has in terms of size. I mean, that's very clear. You look at the offensive and defensive line, and when South was back in their heyday with the guys like Dan Whalen, the Russ kid. They had a number of real good QBs.
It's a little strange just because of the size of the high school. But like you said, and I hadn't realized this, Matt, but 5 straight years Chardon beating South, there was a time that would have been unheard of.
Here's the other thing, and I had a friend whose son was a starter on South's team for a couple of years. He's since graduated and moved on. But at that point in time, Sean Dodd was already the coach at North. And Dodd was actually getting kids to stay at North who in years prior might have gone to Willoughby South. So, and that's the other thing. When you have 2 schools within the same system, those things can happen. Quinton looking to throw across the middle. Incomplete.
Strong throw. Pretty decent throw, but there's another flag down. Hilltoppers hurt themselves with a penalty again, Matt. That's a 15-yard personal foul.
Well, did not come at a good time Going to give South a first down. So the Rebels will have a first down and 10 now from the Chardon 45-yard line. And it's only their second first down of the game, and both have come on penalties. Now Quinlan looking to throw over the middle. The ball is caught down the sideline, 20, down near the 15-yard line. Vince DeUsanio.
Clear breakdown in the coverage. So you're the Hilltoppers. You're trying to get to oh, there is a flag, though. Another one. Oh, it's coming back.
An ineligible man downfield.
You know, these referees didn't have any scrimmages or anything, but they clearly remember how to get those flags out of their pockets.
Minimal penalties last week in the North Chardon game, the Chardon North game.
They clearly remember the rules.
Oh, yeah. And Jamie, you have to wonder too, maybe it was a case of the Hilltoppers just perhaps being a little overconfident based on what they did last year and maybe based on what South did last week, that they're just not as focused. Low snap. Quinlan picks up, going to pitch it outside. Sampson with the catch, and he is brought down from behind. The big man, Vince Ferrante, with the stop.
Ferrante has been a difference maker in this first half. Unbelievable.
Rebels hurrying back to the line, 2nd and 12 from the 47. Quinlan again looking to throw down the field right side. A little bit of a button pattern and a late flag coming out. Doyle with the tight coverage. They were looking for David McLean.
I'll tell you, Tim Ward threw that flag, and Tim Ward is one of the best officials I've ever met. So.
I'm going to ask the obvious question. Relation?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
you're
last
right.
name.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. But I've worked with him in baseball, and he takes it very seriously, and he also teaches new officials how to do it.
I thought you might have said older brother.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 32. Fake to Sampson. Quinlan nearly stopped. He got out of the grasp of Mendenzun, but then the supporting cast comes and gets him. I saw Gavin Slife up there to help make the stop.
And I think what we're seeing between this defensive line and these linebackers, this is a big play defense.
2nd and 10 from the 36. Low snap. Quinlan picked it up. Going to throw it over the middle. It's picked off. Kevin Doyle. 25, 30. Down the sideline. 40. And near midfield where he goes out of bounds, and the Hilltoppers defense strikes again.
Well, when you put pressure on the quarterback, you make them make decisions, and sometimes they don't make the right one. And that ball was right square in the chest of Kevin Doyle, who last year, Matt in particular, had some of the biggest plays in the secondary all season.
Absolutely. And with 44 seconds left to go, you got to think the Hilltoppers, because they do get the ball back to start the third quarter, may take it easy here and just run the football.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Pettyjohn coming around the right side, trying to get something going. No, was knocked out of bounds.
Let me rephrase that, Matt. I think they're going to run the football, but I can guarantee you that Don Novacek, with 38 seconds left, believes that Chardon can score again. I know that.
I was okay. I don't think we're going to see any kind of trickeration or anything that could result in a turnover.
We might. Don't forget, these coaches have been chomping at the bit to get at this as well. Sitting around.
Fetchick under center. No, he's going to throw the football. He is hit as he throws, and the ball is going to be knocked down, nearly intercepted. Toppers caught a huge break there.
Well, and of course, that's what I thought we would do, which is great. But there's always a risk, and Drew got hit a little bit there as well. So we'll see now what this Chardon team decides to do on third down.
Jamie Fetchick really has not had much time to throw the football. There's been a lot of pressure in the backfield when he's gone to throw. Now he's from the gun, back split to his left and right. He will keep it, and he gets nowhere. That defensive line from the Rebels made their own stop, as that time it was the linebacker, Davian Halsey.
Interesting. South has a timeout. They're not going to use it. And I don't think there's going to be another snap here, Matt. Although Chardon acts like maybe they want to. I don't know.
Nah, I think they're just playing coy.
There it is.
All righty. So that is the half, and the Hilltoppers leading at halftime 7-0 thanks to a 39-yard touchdown pass from Drew Fetchick to James Pettyjohn. Do want to thank our sponsors once again, folks, including the Chardon Smile Center. Also, Junction Auto Family. Thank you to Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service. And the Preston Superstore. Without their support, we would not be able to bring you Hilltopper football. So thank you so much to all of our wonderful sponsors. And with that, we are going to pause and get ready for the band. Jamie and I will be back very soon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing your 2020 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led onto the field by our senior drum majors, Will Squires and Anna Gerstner. As we mentioned during pregame, the band staff is extremely proud of this group of students in front of you. We are grateful to the kids and their parents for their flexibility and dedication in preparing the band for this new normal. From wearing masks in rehearsal to social distancing, it has not been easy. But here we are, ready to entertain you. Our opening piece will feature our senior trumpets Anna Gerstner, Mackenzie Brown, Ben Perry, Jesse DeCipeta, and Mateo Chavero. Here is our exciting Latin number, Aztec Fire. Next two numbers feature music from the American mega pop rock group Panic at the Disco. The group has received countless international awards and fills stadiums with huge crowds for their concerts. We're going to feature our Toperettes under the direction of Mrs. Debbie Staple and Mrs. Caitlin Sanders. Get ready for Say Amen. Final selection in our Panic at the Disco show features our drumline, a band dance, and our awesome majorettes, Hallie, Faith, Julianne, Savannah, Lauren, and Courtney. Special thanks to Lainey McBean for the band dance moves. Here's Victorious. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Chardon High School fight song.
What a great job by the band. Well, folks, want to thank more of our sponsors on this broadcast, including Shoreside Plumbing. Also, thank you going out to Alvarez Lawn and Equipment. Both of them help bring you this broadcast. Welcome back, everyone. GTV, Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you. Jamie, week number 2, halfway through here. Hilltoppers clinging to a 7-0 lead. It was a very sloppy first half for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, on both sides. And I know Mitch Hewitt feels like this score should be better for his team. But the good news, of course, is that they are winning. They get the ball to start the second half. And despite some of that sloppiness, which includes penalties for the Hilltoppers, they're still winning this game tonight.
Well, the good news for Chardon, you get the ball back to start now this third quarter. And based on how the first quarter went, you got to be going up here at this point in time. You got to be feeling good. Okay, we're up 7-0. We started to do some things positive toward the end of that second quarter. Let's keep building the momentum.
And one of the things that is talked about a lot, but it's important, adjustments at halftime. Hilltoppers have a veteran coaching staff. They've been here for a long, long time. We talked about Mitch Hewitt in his 10th season, 1999 Chardon graduate, went to the state finals his senior year, played at Bowling Green under Urban Meyer.
Regarding our COVID guidelines,
And this is why he's the head coach, Matt.
And how many times after games have we heard him give credit to the coaching staff, the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, some of the assistant coaches for helping implement the changes that they make. Chardon, unlike a certain professional sports team who's had terrible coaches, I'm just saying, they wear orange and brown, that didn't make halftime adjustments. The Hilltoppers do that, and they do it very well. So here's the kick from Sam Patrizzi, going to be fielded on the far side of the field and making his way across the 25, 30, 35, 40, near midfield, being spun around and brought down was number 36, Blake Barker.
You know what I love about what Blake did there, Matt, is that he completely went against his blockers. He decided, hey, I'm going to string this all the way out. And it worked out to the Hilltoppers' advantage.
So Hilltoppers, some great starting field position on the south 42-yard line. Here we go, 1st and 10. As the Toppers begin the second half, they're going to hand the ball off. Carr up the middle and gains a few yards. And this is what we saw, Jamie, in the second half of last week's game. It began with a steady dose of the fullback going straight up the middle.
Fullback is a game changer in this offense. When you can run that fullback on those dive plays and pick up big yards, that's where this offense is at its absolute best.
Now, when they're doing that, they're attacking and they're wearing down their opponent's defense. Fetch it, quick throw right side, caught by Salka. Little move across the 35, down toward the 33. First down for the Toppers.
One of those great plays where it's a wide receiver screen and you get the ball in the hands of one of your most talented players in Salka, and you get get in rhythm, get guys touches.
Of course, it was against the Rebels last year up in Willoughby where Salka injured his elbow. But nice to see him back and have a good, successful play there. Of course, he had that nice run earlier from the Wildcat formation. First and 10 Toppers from the 33. Car going to be moved over to the left side. Ash going in motion, and Ira Sampson tried to jump the count. The problem was the ball was not snapped.
He was untouched. Man.
Yeah. We'll move the ball up to the 28-yard line. First and 5 from the 28. Ash goes in motion. Fetchick looking to throw. Under pressure, going to tuck it. Going to run around the left side. First down out to the 20, down near the 16-yard line.
Nice block by Evan Ash there to really open that play up.
And Jamie, we're starting to see now with Drew Fetchick, he's being given that option to throw the football, but also to tuck it and run. And he certainly has the speed to do that. First and 10 from the 17. Fetchick going to keep it left side, close to the 10 before he is tackled inbounds.
Well, Matt, Drew's dad, of course, Andy Fetchick, high school principal for many years, was the high school principal during the 2012 school shooting, which, you know, it was such an important part of how this community responded. And Andy has moved on and doing other things, but the fact that he's kept Drew in this school system and stayed here means a lot for this community.
Absolutely. Second down and 4 from the 13. Pettyjohn gets the call. Pettyjohn, touchdown, Toppers! From 13 yards out.
Well, Matt, the senior's been a little quiet, but when he hits hard. And he did it again right there.
James Pettyjohn, the senior, 5'11", 170, gets the touchdown. He's actually, I was looking back at the roster last year, Jamie, compared to this year, picked up 2 inches.
Well, these are all growing boys, Matt. You know that.
Absolute matter of fact, there was only one Topper who lost height. I won't mention his name.
You looked that up?
I did.
That's amazing.
Field goal.
Doing the work.
The PAT is good. So after that touchdown with 9:27 to go here in the third quarter, Toppers now 14-0 over the Rebels.
Well, once again, still plenty of time for dinner tonight on a Friday night, and we've got a tailgate special, as you can see right there, that supports the Chardon After Prom. Joey's Italian Grill and Cleats. Whether you're headed home to the game or you're headed to, well, you're not headed to the game anymore, but you're watching us at home, and 10% of your dinner purchase tonight will benefit the Chardon After Prom. Just make sure you say tailgate special, and you can see those specials. The Cleats has got the entire menu, Matt, which is a good thing.
Love their wings. Cannot go wrong with the Cleats wings. Just that's what I get. I get it as a dinner.
You know, there's definitely a family out there watching us tonight that still is like, what are we doing for dinner?
Yep.
Now they know.
Mom and Dad got home late from work.
Now they know.
Yep. Tager will kick it off. This is going to be a shorter kick. Singleton going to take it near the 10.
Oh,
and
my.
he was hit hard near the 20.
Boy, you could hear that.
He held on to it, though.
Evan Ash blowing it up. Evan's dad, Eric, a member of that state championship team, Matt. 1994. And as you drive into Chardon, that sign still stands. And that team, you can draw a direct line from that team to this team. In the way that Chardon runs its program, it runs its offense, and Mitch Hewitt and this coaching staff.
Well, Mitch was part of that runner-up team. He knows what it takes. Fake the handoff.
Too slow.
And with the stop was Barker. Boy, they did not let Colin Quinlan get anywhere. He thought maybe there'd be an opening, but Barker just was right there for the stop. And Jamie, you talked too about signs of a good defense. These Hilltoppers, they know where they're supposed to be. They're staying in their lanes, and when one guy misses, teammates are there to back him up.
Willoughby South does not have positive yards today.
No.
They do not. I mean, we don't have an official statistician, but
There's
they
no
don't.
way.
I want everyone at home to realize that.
They fake the handoff to Sampson. Quinlan going to take it himself, and Quinlan runs toward the 30, very close to the first down, but I think he's going to be a yard shy. That's
nice
their
play.
biggest pickup of the game right there. Will be spotted a yard shy, so it's 3rd down and 1 now from the 29. And there's a Rebel down on the field. And I believe that's the QB.
Hey, want to say hello to Dennis and Lillian Graw on North Street, who are watching us. Hopefully the Moons as well. You know, Matt, when we this is the first year in all of our years. Brian, how many now? 24 years of GTV that we're both live, audio and video. And obviously, this is the type of season that that's so important because of the limited capacity here at Memorial Field, because of the fact that people can't come out on Friday nights. That's the quarterback.
Yeah,
Matt.
that is Colin Quinlan, unable to put pressure on his left leg, and he's being helped off the field by teammates.
But you think about all of our funding communities that have allowed us to do all of these things. And again, you know, Burton Village, Chardon Township, the city of Chardon, Middlefield Village, and Munson Township. Thanks for supporting GTV. Thanks for supporting what we're able to do here.
So the backup QB is Bryce Figler. And no surprise, Sampson is back there. I bet we're going to see a handoff here. Unless Figler keeps it himself. Hands it off to Sampson, who is stopped for a loss in the backfield. He has had a brutal night.
Figler is a sophomore just like Quinlan, so you've got a couple of sophomores that they don't have a lot of varsity experience. But it's even harder to get thrust into this situation, Matt, as the backup.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a mask or you want to press on,
Well,
How beautiful is that sky, by the way, just beyond the south bleachers?
picturesque.
Picturesque.
Although I'll tell you what, the picture on the scoreboard is picturesque too, 14-0. That Hilltopper defense just, I don't know if dominant is the right word to use tonight, Jamie. Funk, back to punt. Decent punt. Going to take a topper bounce back across the 50 before it's stopped.
Well, the old saying, of course, is the football isn't round, and you're never quite sure where it would go, and that had a possibility of knocking into, what do they call that, when you just got to get out of the way of the ball. And of course it can be hard when you don't know where it is, but Hilltoppers, Matt, with great field position here.
I thought you were about to go John Madden on me and just say something so obvious. Fetchik under center, man in motion. Gonna hand it off. Carr up the middle, and Carr bruises his way down to about the 40-yard line. Nice pickup by the fullback, and Jamie, that's his biggest gain of the night.
It's always great when you can pick up 8 right between the tackles.
Will be 2nd down and 2 from the 40. Brady Toth checking into the game as the split end. Gonna line up near side. Carr, Pettyjohn, and Ash, the running backs. Pettyjohn in motion. And Fetchik looking to throw to Toth. And Toth fighting for it. No, will not be able to hang on to it. Nice coverage by A.J. Hanslick.
Certainly was. Man-to-man on the outside. Hanslick giving up some inches to Toth, no doubt, but great play.
Well, I would love to see the Hilltop, because, I mean, Jamie, you look at the secondary for South. They run 5'9", 5'8", 5'10", 5'8". I mean, there's nobody over 6 foot except for Deusania, who's a defensive end. Man, if you can just get Salka or Toth out there and just throw one up for them to just jump up and get. And the question's going to be who moved, or was it encroachment? It'll be encroachment, and that will be a Hilltopper first down.
First down, Hilltoppers.
Now 1st and 10, Chardon from the 35. Carry goes to Pettyjohn around the left side. Little bit of running room. Pettyjohn on his feet. Puts his hand down to keep him going forward, and he's brought down just shy of 27.
This sustained drive right now for Chardon. Another score, Matt. About to put a... You're gonna put a stake in this, just in the way that the Hilltoppers have the momentum. They've had the momentum. I don't know what South could do to get it back.
It almost feels anticlimactic at this point, and I really hate to say that. 2nd and 2 now from the 27, and the QB going to keep himself. Makes a cut on his feet, fighting for some yardage out to the 20-yard line, and another first down for the Hilltoppers. But, Jamie, you're exactly right. The way this defense has played tonight, it almost feels like this game is out of reach now for the Rebels.
And one of the things you mentioned is we've got a timeout, a player's timeout. Maybe this is a water timeout. Anyway, Matt, what I wanted to say is what we saw for a minute there was Drew Fetchik. He's running a little bit. He's running a little bit up and down. No timeout.
Apparently they thought someone called the timeout, but no one called the timeout. That's pretty good, the fake timeout.
They're doing a pretty great job, considering.
No, they absolutely are. First and 10 from the 20. Fetchik up the middle, and he's in, well, just shy of the end zone. Going to be brought down near the 2. I thought he was going to fall forward and fall in. But a great run by the senior signal caller. And now there is a Rebel down. Jamie, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say to all of the Chardon High School alumni out there, like Rachel Hinder, who I know is listening tonight, wherever you are, be sure to connect with the Alumni Association at chardonalumni.org. You can sign up for email notices and more. There wasn't a class dinner this year, obviously, because of what's going on, but apparently, Matt, they're gearing up for a huge all-class dinner next year. So stay tuned, get connected so you know more. And just wanted to let all the Chardon High School alumni know that stay involved moving forward so you know what's going on.
Injured Rebel was Delonde Moss, able to make it off the field under his own power. Unfortunately, he couldn't get past the sideline, and now they're going to have to tend to him.
Looks like it might be a cramp, Matt, and even though it's a little cool tonight, you still have to
Electrolyte up.
You got to stay hydrated.
On cue, huh?
Yeah, we've got you can see the field right now. Hey, thanks to Chris Graw for being on the camera tonight.
He's on the camera, Foster's on the switcher.
Yeah.
We've got an all-star crew here.
Yeah, like a superhero. You know, we didn't do so well last week, but the A-team is back.
That rain just kind of took the momentum out of everything last week that we had planned. And Chardon wasn't the only place where it hit. Stumbling, bumbling, and Sulka is in for the touchdown out of that Wildcat formation.
Absolutely. Difficult to stop that young man who's got such great size, and that's where the Wildcat is at its absolute best.
And really, the only reason why we call it the Wildcat is because Sulka is not normally the QB. I mean, it's still the regular wing T, if you will, folks.
I mean, it's basically a running back at quarterback, which gives you more options.
I'd argue a tight end at quarterback, but...
Well, in this situation.
PAT is good, and with 4:13 to play, it's Chardon 21 and South nothing.
You could probably argue, Matt, that the Hilltoppers run a Wildcat almost every play, but
very true.
But when you get Sulka involved there, it's a special thing. So once again, thanks to the Chardon Gridiron Club and all of our sponsors tonight. There's still plenty of time if your business wants to get involved with Hilltopper football. We've got what, Matt? At least 4 games left.
Plus playoffs.
Plus the playoffs. And so you can contact Tim Semler at 440-487-3116 or Alex McDonald at 440-251-8214. Don't miss out on an opportunity. Next week we are in Kenston, right?
We are. And
boy, that's a big one.
You know, I don't want to look ahead, Jamie, but that game, it always seems the underdog comes out on top. At least that's the way it's been the last 3 to 4 years by my recollection.
Yeah, it's really developed into, I think, Geauga County's best rivalry.
And what do you know about Kenston at this point?
Well, you know, they missed their first game because they were playing Mayfield, right?
And Mayfield
that
had
game
the
was canceled.
COVID.
And I don't know what's happening tonight, so I'm sure there's a lot of question marks for them.
They lost, though, a lot of offensive power last year to graduation.
Yes, absolutely.
Tager with a good boot. Singleton going to take it at his 6 up to the 10, 15. Just brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Ferrante in on that tackle. And Jamie, you look at the Chardon special team, and you have a lot of guys that are normal starters that play in that special teams unit who can go down the field and deliver a lick.
Yeah. And
Singleton with the cramp.
there is another cramp out there. But, you know, when Mitch Hewitt filled out his form for the media in the preseason, he's always asked, and, you know, what are the team strengths? Returning starters on defense, that was number one. 25 seniors. That both helps you, obviously, physically on the field, but in the locker room. And looking to build off of what this team did a year ago, which is get all the way to the regional finals before they finally went down. It's a 10-3 football team coming back.
And realistically, they were one, and it wasn't that they had a bad half against Aurora, but they played a mediocre second half against the Green Men. And if they had just been able to keep up what they did in the first half, last year would have been a Final Four team. Make no mistake about that. And again, I come back to this, Jamie. I said it so many times toward the end of last season and throughout the playoffs. The best coaching job I've seen by Mitch Hewitt and his staff was last year, because that team, beginning of the year, was not playoff material. Quinlan back in the game. He's going to look to throw. Now he's going to tuck it, and he gets out of bounds. Good to see him back, Jamie, as he had issues walking off the field when we last saw him. But again, you know, you look back at that 2019 Hilltopper team. They struggled in so many facets of the game. And near the midseason point, you just kind of looked around and was like, okay, you know, can
Down
they do
again.
it? It's another Rebel is down with cramping. Boy. This just goes to show, Jamie, too, how important the off-season is. The Hilltoppers showing no signs of that right now. I mean, it's a cooler night now. It's, I don't know, got to be in the 60, 60, something like that?
My Apple Watch says 60 degrees.
I'll go with that. It feels it. But Chardon having none of that. Their guys looked all good, ready to roll. Matter of fact, last week, Coach Hewitt said he wanted it to actually be warmer because his guys were in such good shape.
Well, it was a very big part of the program that Bob Doyle built back when he was Mitch Hewitt's head coach. The bigger, stronger, faster mentality, which, you know, the weight room and the things that they do does make a big difference. Of course, Mitch looks like he's been in the weight room.
He's, I think, only 2 years older than me. I mean, the dude looks like he could still play in the NFL, and I look like I belong on a couch somewhere. What a play. Evan Gardner and blows up that play for a loss. Got my shoulder falling off, and Mitch is probably still bench pressing like 250, if not more.
Don't insult him by guessing how much he can bench press.
I said probably
you're
more.
You're going to get an email. You're going to get an email. It's probably more than that, Matt.
Probably. I'm trying to be modest.
Once again, Matt, South going the wrong way.
Been the story of the night for them. 3rd down and 12 now from the 22. And Quinlan back in the shotgun, going to pitch it out. Picked off by Brady Toth. His second of the game. Actually, check out his first of the game. It was Doyle who had the earlier interception.
You know what that looked like to me, Matt? Brady Toth is a outstanding basketball player. And when you step right into that pass and take it away and go down the other end, that's exactly what happened there. Basketball instincts gets the takeaway.
As you would say during a game of hoops, he was right in the passing lane. So Hilltoppers will have the ball at the south 4-yard line with a 1st and goal situation. Looking to punch it in here. Fetchik going to try to go. No, that is. Check that. It was Fetchik, and Fetchik in the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers. They are just wearing this Rebel defense down. Chardon going to go for 2, and they get it. How about that? Charlie Broche with the 2-point conversion.
Good for that young man. Boy, we've watched him wrestle on GTV, and he's fun to watch. I hope we get a chance to see him again in the winter. But Matt, now 29-0. Thanks for watching at home. This has been a second half just like it was last week, right?
Close to identical. Outside of a couple of minor mistakes by the Hilltoppers. But Jamie, again, you get back to the changes that they made at halftime, the adjustments that they made. And this Hilltopper offense look different out of the gate to start the third quarter. And I'm thinking about this now, Jamie, after that what we just saw there with Charlie's 2-pointer. If that might be something for Kenston to think about the reason. I mean, otherwise, why would you go for 2 up 27-0 game seemingly out of hand at this point in time? That was meant as a statement for somebody who's going to be seeing their film. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you the Hilltoppers, multi-dimensional at so many facets of the game. You've got a kid who can kick it through the scoreboard in Nathan Tager, and Singleton again with the return and doesn't make it to the 25-yard line, surrounded by red jerseys.
Well, if you're Willoughby South, Matt, and still almost 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter, but they haven't scored yet this season, so you gotta go back to square one. Think about, what are your principles? What are your offensive principles? What are you trying to accomplish? And what can we try to accomplish to be positive moving forward?
Well, and the other thing for South is they may not even have a game next week. They've got Mayfield on the schedule, and no official word yet if the Wildcats will be playing next week or not, due to having the first couple games suspended due to COVID-19. Sampson brought down from behind as Evan Gardner again in on that stop. Mendenzun was there to give him a little bit of help.
Evan Gardner on back.
The Hilltoppers have just made a living tonight in that Rebel backfield.
Yeah, and we knew it was a strength, and they're just dominating up front, and it's quickness. That's what it is. It's quickness. You look at how lean those young men are. They're just too fast right now for South's offensive line.
Well, and you have to think, too, now, if you're Willoughby South, you've had 7 brutal quarters of offense. From a mental standpoint, Sampson gets the handoff, met by a line of red jerseys. But, how do you keep up your mental state to where you don't let this wear you down? Because, it can easily happen. And Coach Duffy can I hate to say lose the offense, if you will, Jamie, but, when you under 50 yards of offense in one game, and at this point negative yards of offense in another game, it's from a mental standpoint, you are just so beat up from that aspect that these kids are going to have to, and it's the good thing about sports, it helps you develop mental toughness that you need as an adult.
Yeah.
Because you all know it out there, the workforce is a beast, and there are days where you just get burnt down and beat up mentally. Another bad snap, and Figler picks it up. I didn't notice Figler.
Ferrante almost took that. He almost took that snap. That's how fast Vince has been tonight.
Jamie, I didn't notice it, but Figler is in at QB. It's not Colin Quinlan. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 23, so the Rebels bringing out one of their better tools tonight in Tom Funk. What was that? There was lyrics to a song. Was "Bring Out the Something, Bring Out the Funk," wasn't it? A song from the 70s. I forget.
I think there was a lot of funk in the 70s.
There was. Good kick by the sophomore.
Oh no.
Cade, though, looks okay. He got up. McLean just decked him. Wow.
Well, unfortunately, that South young man, kind of taunted after the play, which I know upset some Chardon players, and it should, but I hope Chardon can keep its head as well, because...
Well, you can hear I don't know, folks, if you can hear it, but we can hear it up here, the coaching staff.
That was a sophomore.
But the coaching staff talking about keeping your cool.
Have to. Let's be honest, Chardon this week has gone through some things that everybody at home is aware of regarding just kids making decisions, and that was a bad one for Tyrone Singleton. But at the same time, he's a sophomore, and let's move on. Let's show the maturity that we need to show.
This will be, barring a quick incomplete pass, the final play of the third quarter here. And the Toppers a score away from the mercy rule being started, or enacted, if you will. Might have been a little movement, but nonetheless, Carr up the gut. And that's how this quarter is gonna end. So we'll pause as the Hilltoppers go on the other, or make their way toward the other side of the field. And we're gonna thank our GTV sponsors for helping us bring this game. And those sponsors include Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, the Preston Superstore, the Chardon Smile Center, and the Junction Auto family. Thank you so much for your support here of GTV. Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you here on GTV. Hilltoppers up 29-0, looking to put the exclamation point on this one. Draw goes to Pettyjohn. Pettyjohn makes his way up near the 10-yard line.
That's not only a draw, but a trap at the same time. I love how creative Chardon's offense can be in the way that they run the ball.
Salka checking in, but he will be a split end. Watch him. They're going to line up on the left side, just outside the hash mark. Fetch going to hand it off, trying to turn the corner, but Pettyjohn just could not do it. Brought down by his numerical twin on the other side, A.J. Hanslick.
Well, when you think about Pettyjohn, Matt, there's no question that he's got another gear. And you saw it there for a second when he bounced outside. Such a fast young man. And
well, last year, Chardon had so much success with Pettyjohn in the jet sweep. And tonight, that end has just been sealed off by the Rebels. They're going to try to go outside again, and the Hilltoppers gain a few yards there. Fetchick with the carry. Going to bring up a third down and about 4 maybe.
I think you're obviously in your red zone playbook here, but and this is really 4-down territory, so I think you're gonna You've got a lot of options.
Yeah. Watch out for Sean Carr, who's now lined up almost behind the QB. Man goes in motion. Official's gonna.
That's half the distance. That's not going to get Chardon a first down, but
So the
you probably
encroachment-
run the same play, right? Or what do you do here?
Jamie, I don't know. I'll tell you what.
We're going to have to
encroachment
ask Don this week at Beans when he's having lunch.
It's now 3rd and 1. I mean, this gives you the option now if you just want to do the old goose and go. I think your big boys up front can get you that 1 yard. Or, you know what? Just
I
give it
think
to
you
Sean
run the
Carr.
exact same play. Oh, no.
And now, question is, was
Our
Chardon
left
drawn
tackle.
off?
Now our left tackle.
Yeah, the illegal procedure
So,
call.
do we,
back
so
the
we run it
Hilltoppers
again?
up.
Do you just run? I think Chardon was gonna run that play, but yeah, it's probably gonna be changed now.
Gonna make it 3rd and 6. Yeah, Toth now coming into the game. Jamie, I don't want to play O coordinator here, but I mean, you got Toth in the game. Maybe you toss it up to him in the corner. Just saying. Boys got some hops.
Oh, look
They're going
at
to the
Matt
corner.
Jaworski.
He caught it. Was he in bounds? Touchdown! Toth!
You know, Matt, the fact is when you're good, like these young guys are, it doesn't take a lot.
No.
And that's exactly what we just saw there.
What a great ball thrown by Fetchik. PAT is up. And it is good. So 10:50 left to play here in the game. The Toppers now lead 36-0, and the mercy rule is in effect.
Well, you don't have much time. It's your last chance to get the tailgate special that will benefit the Chardon after prom. Joey's Italian Grill and Cleats, full menu. Honestly, by the time I finish telling you this, though, you're going to have to call right now. But thank you to both of those places for supporting Chardon schools and supporting the after prom. And you can see right there, it's now or never on Friday night dinner. But Matt, look at that score. Can you believe it?
Yes.
You can.
Jamie, I hate to say it, but it's what we saw last week. A Hilltopper team that was kind of in the game, or allowed their opponent to be in the game in the first half, but then mentally and physically wore them down in the second half. And that's what we've seen in this game. The Hilltoppers, as this game has progressed, have ran just through and have pushed through and pushed over the Rebels. And the band making a little bit of, Jamie, that's the one thing I do miss, though, with the visiting teams not allowed to bring bands this year, is you don't have that back and forth between the bands like you normally would.
Well, so special for Chardon. They very well may host a playoff game, so, but, there's only...
Singleton couldn't hang on to it, eventually slid back down on it. Wow.
Chardon's only got 3 home games, Matt, but at the same time, you never know when a game against Mayfield or Brush or whomever moving forward could not be played because of what we're all going through right now. But to see those kids out there right now with their glow sticks.
Well, make no mistake about it. This team knows, and this band knows, and these cheerleaders know, Every single game is precious at this point in time.
Another Rebel down. Can we
Singleton
see
again.
the yeah? Can we see the band?
Apparently not.
10 minutes to go, though, and this is a new rule, Matt, that was instituted. I think last season was the first time.
Might have been
maybe
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So if you're over 30 in the second half, the clock will run mostly. That's designed to keep kids safe. Put less people at risk, and so that's what we're going to see here tonight.
Well, the other thing too, Jamie, is with a rule like that, it just, and I'm gonna talk about this from the coaches, players perspective, and I had a long conversation with Tiger Laverty about this when it was first installed, is he hates the rule because he used that to get his JV guys and even in certain occasions freshmen into play. And he just said, it's going to hurt our player development. Granted, then they went out and ripped off 2 straight titles.
Yeah, well,
Figler, nothing. He stopped in the backfield.
I get what Kirtland's saying, but that won't happen at Chardon because they'll play a JV game and a freshman game, and all those kids get a chance to play. So, keeping football safe
is absolutely very important.
Is important to its longevity.
2nd and 15 now for the Rebels. There you go, Jamie. You were just talking about the band. Al gives them the big old shout out. Great response by the fans here at Chardon Memorial. Sampson fumbles the football. It's on the ground. I think he fell back on it. Boy, it has been a couple of hairy possessions for the Rebels with Bryce Figler in at QB. Figler, the sophomore, 5'11", 160. Two backs in the backfield for the Rebels. And Figler going to look to throw. He's hit again, and it's picked off! Making his way into the end zone for the touchdown is Vince Ferrante.
Well, if there's anybody on defense who deserves a touchdown, Matt, it's Vince Ferrante because he's been blowing up that South offense all night. And, I mean, come on. How often do defenders get a chance to score?
And they don't. Not very often, Jamie. I'll tell you what. He's going to be in the running. He has to be in the running, I think, at least at this stage of the year, for Defensive Player of the Year here in Geauga County. Bit of a high snap, but not a problem for Tager. Puts it through, and the Hilltoppers lead 43-0. Jamie, you're going to have your choices tonight of guys to talk to.
Well, Vince is going to be one of them for sure, because he has been in so many of these plays, and this defense has been so explosive. And this has been another great game for Chardon as they prepare for Kenston next week.
Well, you can't understate the preparation for Kenston aspect of it. Because again, Jamie, you look back at the last 2 years that these two teams played, and even before that, 3 years, I think it was 3 years ago, where Chardon came in as the favorite in that game, and Kenston pulled off the upset. Then the last 2 years, Kenston was the favorite, and Chardon both years pulled off the upset.
Well, and the year that Kenston won their state title, which was 2 seasons ago, they only lost 1 game, and it was to Chardon. And you were there.
Yep. A little bit of trickeration by the Hilltoppers in that one. And then, of course, last year, if I recall, it was a field goal as time expired.
Yeah, it's a great matchup between 2 similar districts, similar sizes, and also a lot of coaches and kids that know each other, and two really well-run programs.
Absolutely. Jamie, you don't win a state title if you're not if you're not a program that's well run. Question's going to be when the defense comes back out on the field at this point, 43-0. Are we going to see Ferrante and all the starters? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, remember, they dress fewer players because of the regulations, so.
Only allowed 60. Line drive kick fielded by one of the up men. Nice catch. Fell on that, and they'll be downed right there. It was Jason Panich who made the catch. Jamie, one guy that we've got to send a major thank you to and a shout out to, because he has done so much behind the scenes to make this season a reality. And it's athletic director Doug Snyder.
Oh, can you imagine?
I mean, all that went into the scheduling. Was there going to be a season? Wasn't there? I mean, I can't imagine the sleepless nights that Doug had, all the extra hours that and folks, Doug puts in a tremendous amount of hours to start off with.
Right.
But then even more so on top of that, he had one of the biggest smiles on his face that I've seen in a long time last week under that mask. I mean, even with the mask on, you could tell he was just beaming after the game, the fact that they played and it was such a successful game and that the season started.
It drives home how important teachers are, administrators are, and how important our schools and community are. There's no question about it.
Flag on the play. They're going to wave it off.
Oh, there's Alan Herner.
Well, he's funny. They're going to hand the ball off to the first back through, and we now have massive changes, Jamie, on all sides of the field here. Mamadou C was the carrier. And it looks like we've got another QB in as well. And it's the man that caught that line drive kick, Jason Panich. So Panich going to be from the gun. Bit of a pistol formation behind him. We'll hand it off to Sai, who's wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. Believe that time it was Broach. No, check that. That's Alex Henry. Nope, okay. Al corrected me, correcting him.
Oh, and look at the Hilltoppers. Here at home, Matt, to get this win in this kind of way, and of course, they just beat an entire school district.
They did, swept them.
Not just 2 teams, but an entire district.
Well, Jamie, even right now with the backups in Chardon, still forcing South to negative yardage. Looking to throw the football. It's up in the air, and it is going to fall incomplete. Broach gave chase, but needed another few yards to make an attempt on that one. So with that, Jamie, the Rebels going to be forced to punt, facing a 4th and 15 deep inside their territory.
Well, you know, football isn't the only thing that we'll be streaming, Matt, during this fall season. We've got soccer and volleyball coming up as Chardon hosts Berkshire in boys soccer. That'll be Thursday at 7. And the Badgers volleyball team visits Chardon next Saturday with action starting at 9 a.m. So busy streaming here on GTV.
It's good. We got to keep Foster busy. The man has been spending too much time at home this summer. Wife says, get out and cover something. South going to call a timeout. I don't know if Chris's wife said the same thing about him.
Well, for those who are still joining us, the Hilltoppers, you know, let's be honest, Matt, the first half was a little sloppy.
Very sloppy.
But in the second half, just like you saw last week, the Hilltoppers focused and deliver when it matters. And that's a good thing to have in a football team.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Chardon put up 22 unanswered in the third quarter, and they corrected a lot of mistakes.
This went from a game where 7-0 to we're having a hard time finding something to talk about.
I'm going to call it what it is. It's a blowout. And Jamie, the reason being, it's not because of the offense. I'm not trying to discredit the offense in any way, shape, or form, but this defense has been so spectacular tonight that South never had a chance.
I can imagine we're going to see Chardon's next quarterback come into the game for a few snaps here at the end, man.
Probably be Zoran Vujakliak. Saw him come into action last week. That punt will take a bounce toward the Toppers' way and be downed at the 45-yard line. So 3:08 left to go. Out comes the Toppers. And waiting to see who the QB's gonna be. I don't see Zoran out there. Gonna be Charlie? Broach is breaking the huddle, so he's gonna be the QB. Or excuse me, Alex Henry, I beg your pardon. Henry gonna hand it off, coming left side. On his feet, breaking a few tackles, and heading toward the end zone for the touchdown was Charlie Broach. I guess it's like saying Rumpelstiltskin 3 times.
It's a week that Charlie Broach will never forget.
Absolutely not.
And for him to be able to put that ball in the end zone right there is a special thing to see.
That was a 45-yard touchdown run. And the junior out to attempt another PAT. It's good. Boy, Jamie, when he boots these PATs, they are high, they are long, and they are dead center through that upright.
That would have been over the King Cone truck last year, but a little bit different.
Man, I could go for an ice cream now that you said that. So Chardon now, Jamie, in back-to-back games have outscored its opponents 92-7. South, meanwhile, has been outscored 80-0. Talk about a tale of two teams. And you'd have to wonder what this Rebel team is going to do now going forward. They've got on their schedule a question mark next week in Mayfield. After that, they've got Madison, North, and then Kenston. And the question's going to be, how can this, or where does it even begin to get this team better? Or maybe, Jamie, I'm just going to, maybe Chardon and Riverside are that good, and they are really going to be the class of the WRC this year. You know, we really don't know and won't know until the season comes to an end.
Right, and that's true. There's a lot of unknowns every week, let's be honest, but it's the absolute way you would want to start the season for the Hilltoppers. And I hope everybody who's watching us at home is very impressed with what they've seen the last couple of weeks.
By the way, if the schedule holds true for the Hilltoppers, so we had 2 home games to start off, 1 versus North, 1 versus South. Next week is at Kenston. In 2 weeks, on September 18th, they will go up to Riverside. So how about that for back-to-back games? Kenston, Riverside. Then on the 25th, Mayfield at home. Followed by their final regular season game, going to be October 2nd at Brush. Rebels going to run the ball on the outside, maybe a yard or so on that run. See the ball carrier. Clock now running at 1:50.
It's been good to be here, Matt. It's been good to watch a high school football game and to see everything we've seen tonight as the fans now get on their feet, some of them for a standing ovation as some of these players come off the field, but it's been fun.
It has been fun, Jamie. And bad snap again, going to be kicked around, and I think the Rebels finally do. Well, no. Hilltoppers may get it back. Nope, Rebels do have it. C came up with it. But it's great to be back, and great that the weather cooperated tonight as well. Because, boy, last week was just absolutely miserable from a weather standpoint for the fans and for the camera guys and our GTV crew. No doubt about that one. But here we are. It was a beautiful day, and the Hilltoppers on the verge of taking another one. 3rd and 25 for South. Clock running under 30 seconds. This should just about do it here. Sai gonna get the handoff and run around the end, and he was stuffed right there. That will do it as the clock strikes 0. The Hilltoppers come away big winners tonight, 50-0. With that, we are going to take a moment here to thank our our sponsors, I beg your pardon, including the Junction Auto family. Also, the Chardon the Chardon Smile Center, the Preston Superstore, and Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service. Also, folks, do want to thank our other supporting sponsors, Alvord Lawn and Equipment and Shoreside Plumbing. Again, we urged you and asked you that to please patronize them as best as you can. We certainly appreciate their support here on GTV. With that, want to recap this one here. You look at what the Hilltoppers did tonight, and it was just impressive to say the least. James Pettyjohn opened the scoring up in the second quarter with a 39-yard touchdown run. He added on in the third quarter with a 13-yard run to make it 14-0. Salka, a 2-yard run, made it 21-0. Then Fetchik added a 4-yard run, broached the 2-point conversion. It was 29-0. Scores by Toth, Ferrante, and Broach made it right there, that 50-0 score. That about does it here for us on GTV. We certainly want to thank the Chardon Gridiron Club for all their support. Also want to thank again GTV for this broadcast as well. Thanks going out to my partner tonight, Jamie Ward, to our cameraman, Chris Scraw, our director, Brian Foster. Thank you. Didn't quite know what to call you there, Brian. And also executive producer, Dave Jevnikar. I am Matt Jaworski. On behalf of all the rest, we'd like to wish you all the best. We'll see you next week, folks, from Kenston.